Hey everyone, it's you once again, and welcome everyone to another video and of course another review. Today I'm going to review Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, the sequel to this movie, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. I just watched this movie today, and I really like it. It's a really good sequel, a really good movie. It took me actually 20 years to rewatch this film because I forgot about it and I wasn't such a big fan of this film. My aunt was actually taping me this movie on VHS because I never saw the sequel. I saw the first one, but never saw the sequel. I wanted to rent it in the video store, but both Ace Ventura movies at the time in the 90s they were both rented. Ace Ventura was very popular at that time. And yeah, this is the sequel, which I'm gonna talk about it. This is the back, this is the screenshots from the sequel. This scene wasn't actually in the first movie. I checked it. I don't know where they got it. Maybe it was the latest scene. But yeah, those are the pictures, from from the sequel. Jim Carrey returns as the loony, crazy detective Ace Ventura. And we actually do have, the opening scene of Cliffhanger, and in which Ace Ventura is climbing the mountain like Sylvester Stallone did in Cliffhanger, and we see a helicopter, like the opening scene to Cliffhanger, completely opening scene of Cliffhanger, and Ace Ventura is climbing in the mountain, and we see the helicopter pilot calling him off, because he's actually trying to rescue, people. They try to rescue the people, and yeah, I didn't know, but the helicopter pilot was Ken Kurtzinger from Freddy vs. Jason. I didn't know it was actually him in it. Anyway, Ace Ventura, Ace, he goes actually climbs the mountain with his monkey Spike, but capuchin monkey with his capuchin monkey Spike. And it's not in the screenshot, but when he goes on the top of the mountain, he finds an airplane. He also finds that bird says "hungry fellow," just like in the first movie. To the baby bird, and gives him a kiss. He climbs the top of the mountain, and he sees an airplane being destroyed. Then he sees a young raccoon, climbing there, and he goes into rescue mission. And just like in Cliffhanger, he puts that long line and he buckle up the raccoon and starts climbing. And the raccoon, just like in Cliffhanger, the safety line, breaks. It just cuts. And he catches the raccoon, tries to save the raccoon, but the other raccoon dies. And that time, it's just like in Cliffhanger. Ace Ventura loses now the edge, so he's now in this. He's now just like Rambo, Rambo 3. He's in this monastery because he doesn't recognize himself, and a young man, Fulton Greenwald, goes to the temples, and in the monastery, and tries to get he actually tries to get Ace Ventura to help him out to go back to Africa, and yes, this movie should actually more be titled Ace Ventura in Africa. I guess the title was already used by Shaft, so it was titled Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. But Ace Ventura goes in Africa, and he's been hired to find a sacred bat, a sacred white bat, shikaka, which is a sacred animal by the Wichati tribe in Africa. And Ace Ventura has to find the bat, and he has to prevent the. He has to go and he has to prevent the war between those two tribes in Africa, Wachati and Wachatu tribe, there are two tribes, and it was actually, the sacred white bat, the animal was stolen by the tribe, by Wachati tribe, and Ace Ventura has only 4 days to find that bat before it's too late. If he doesn't do that, there's gonna be a war, and of course the man who hired him was was actually was actually this guy. I wrote down, but I can't find that guy. Simon, I think was Simon Fellow. I think Simon Callow. It was Simon Callow who played Vincent Candabi. Vincent Candabi hired Ace Ventura, because he doesn't want to have a bloodshed, and Ace Ventura has 4 days to find that sacred white animal, that sacred white bat. But Ace Ventura is scared of bats, He also goes, he starts investigation. He goes into the bat cave, and he's scared. He takes that medallion, and more that he investigates, more he gets in danger, because 2 Australian poachers, are actually the one that took the animal, they took those that bat, and more at first he thinks that that Burton Green, that millionaire, that was actually the one that he kidnaps, and there's actually the song Secret Agent Man, which I like that song, by Blues Traveler, Secret Agent Man song, and he's like in a rhino, and that rhino, which wasn't a real rhino, it was his disguise, which he tries to find out more about Green and the guy McCabe. He thinks that Green stole it, or when his monkey uses the safety line, and he's like in a parachute, he's like in the parachute following Green. I like that scene. I actually really like that scene. He's in a rhino. There's a rhino bird. There's like this family tourists, this family mom and dad and brother and sister who are watching the rhino bird. I like the scene. It's actually on YouTube, that scene, rhino bird. He goes because he has no air. It's hot. He has no air. And it's actually hot there. He doesn't have any air. He has no air. So he tries to open the door, but the door is stuck. He can't get out. He's gonna die. So he goes to the rhino's ass. And his family are thinking that there's a rhino bird, but it's actually Jim Carrey coming out. It was funny. The guy was funny. It kind of was funny scene. Oh my God, it was funny scene. He also he also is with those monkeys, while he's checking out, the Green, because he finds feeder, he finds a few feeders and thinks it's Green, behind it, but it wasn't him, But that scene was really good with monkeys, or he's like in the jungle, he's like Tarzan in the jungle. But yeah, so he actually find out. He also gets hit with with the darts. 1 dart hits him in the neck, then in the shoulders, and 3 in the back. He gets like 7 darts, and when he wakes up, he goes he only see feet, but he doesn't know who did that. Excuse me. So he finds out. So he goes to find out. He's waking up, by the princess of the Wachati tribe, and he decides to investigate, the other tribe, the Wachutu tribe. So he goes there, and the Wachutu tribe thinks that he's a white devil, and the guy, translates everything wrong, and so the Wachutu tribe gives him a few tests, and Ace Ventura passes all the tests, but despite that, the Wachutu tribe did not stole, and did not took the white sacred bat, did not took it, and once again, the lead brings it to those poachers, in the cabin, but he actually has been now hunted down, once again. He tries to get the bat back, but he gets actually once again been chased, and he's been hit with few darts, because the dart that he found wasn't from the Wachutu tribe, it was from different tribe. He gets hit by the tribe. He gets hit, with darts, and he's tied up, in the raft, and there's a waterfall, and of course the monkey escapes, but the monkey does not untie. He jumps, he goes down the waterfall, lands the waterfall in the water. That was definitely my favorite scene. He wakes up in the water, and there's an alligator. An alligator tries to eat him, and I watch him carrying the alligator. Alligator spins around. That was funny, with his mouth, and the alligator escapes, and Jim Carrey says, Ace Ventura says, no, come back here, do what you start, finish, goes and kicks the shit out of the alligator, he goes and kicks the shit out of alligator in his mouth, he goes and shits out, don't run, but you, oh my God. Yeah, which I like that, but I like the alligator scene. It was a really awesome alligator scene. It actually was an awesome alligator scene, but it was awesome. I like it when he was in this party, and he uses the fruits in it. I like that scene. It was awesome, that scene. But yeah, so he wakes up, and he actually finds out that it was actually this guy who hired him. It was the one, this guy, Rick. It was this guy, Vincent Candabi, played by Simon Callow. He was the one that actually stole the bat, because he wanted that the tribes, destroys each other, so that he can possess, the numerous bat caves containing guano to sell a fertilizer worth billions, so he could get rich. He wanted that the tribe destroy, so he can sell fertilizer, worth billions from those caves. He wanted them out, and of course Ace asked him, why did you then hire me? And he said, so that you're my alibi, so that no one is gonna suspect me. And those two poachers shows up, and of course this police captain, instead to arresting him, tries to kill him, but Ace calls, so Ace calls the elephant. The elephant destroys, kicks that car, the Land Rover, destroys the Land Rover, and he goes, to get the bat back, but he fights off those two poachers. He goes to the elephant, destroys the house, he fights all those poachers, uses the skunk, sprays them with that water, the skunk, on those two poachers. And this guy, Kandabi escapes, Kandabi goes and escapes with a white bat with his with his Land Rover. And Ace goes after him, and he uses a monster truck, chases with the monster truck. I love that scene. That's my favorite scene, monster truck, push and stomp, monster truck, 1989 Chevrolet. He uses monster truck, chases down Kandabi, fucks Kandabi over. Kandabi crashes the car, Land Rover crashes in the tree, and Ace uses Star Monster Truck, to roll it, and goes and destroys Kandabi's Land Rover car. That was great scene, and Kandabi then gets caught by Gorilla. Gorilla jumps on him, and fucks him over, and she goes and screws Kandabi over. That was funny scene. So Ace, instead chasing Kandabi, he grabs the bat, without his sprays bats, he grabs the bat, runs, to the when those two tries to kill each other, retrieves the sacred bat, the white sacred bat. Shikaka retrieves the white bat, brings the white bat back, and he starts this drive, killing each other. So now, the guy, from the Wachutu tribe, marries now the princess from Wachati tribe, but then he finds out that she's not virgin, and everyone is now chasing Ace, and the movie ends, they are chasing Ace on the end, and the movie ends. Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, came out in 1995, was released on November 10. I wasn't really a fan of this film, because almost good as the first one, but the first one's the best. I did a retrospective review. This one is almost good as the first one. I will give 8 out of 10 stars, out for the good performance by Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey did a really good job. Bob Ganton is in this movie. He plays Burton Green. Bob Ganton is also in both these movies. You see in Behind Back, he's actually Chief Earl in Demolition Man. He's Mr. Pritchett in Broken Arrow, and he's also in this movie as Bob Green. Yes, Ace goes and kidnaps Bob Green. He goes and kidnaps him. Of course, the monkey Spike uses the electric weapon, electric stun gun. Stuns him. And when Ace goes and ties him over, he finds out that the guy did not steal, the white bat. He doesn't know where he is. He hired the guy McCabe to find the white bat. Even the guy doesn't know where the white bat is. He didn't do it, And I love that Bob Ganton is in this kind of type roles, that he's a good guy, like Chief Earl, or Mr. Pritchett, but he gets killed by John Travolta. But I like that scene. My favorite scene will still be the monster truck. I was going to say the alligator scene, but no, the monster truck is the best scene ever. To the jungle, he goes and chases, Ace Ventura goes and chases, he goes and chases Kandabi, goes and chases him, Kandabi, and uses his monster truck, destroys the car. That is the best scene. The alligator scene I enjoy, the rhino scene is funny, I enjoy. There's also that girl Christy Norton. She played pompous woman, because Ace didn't like it, that Furno, he punches her husband, where's the husband, throws him on the floor. That was a funny scene. But I like that Jim Carrey returns. Jim Carrey's excellent performance as Ace Ventura. It's almost good as Pet Detective, but it's not good as Pet Detective. But this sequel is really good. much better than fucking Dumb and Dumber 2. Fuck that piece of garbage movie. You know, someone give me a dislike. Fuck that movie. Fuck piece of shit Dumb and Dumber 2. I would rather have this movie. I watch this movie. Ace Ventura When Nature Calls is a really good movie. It's a decent movie. But as a kid, I never liked the film because I thought it was kind of disappointing, you know, because I actually prefer the CD more, you know. I actually miss the old music score, you know, by Iron Newborn, you know. I actually miss the old music score. But the new music score by Robert Folk was still a good one, you know. Just I prefer the original music by Iron Newborn. No one from the first movie returned in this movie. It was only Jim Carrey was the only one that returned. I'm glad he got when nature calls, but I think this movie could have been much better. I think the sequel could have been much better. Written and directed by Steve O.E.D. Kirk. He was a close friend of Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey wanted him. So Steve O.D. Kirk did a good job writing and directing the film. This is actually, the first movie is more an action comedy, you know, action comedy crime. This movie is actually more an action adventure comedy, more an adventure comedy. You know, it's like Tarzan in a jungle. And Jim Carrey is still pulling it off, you know. Ready for more Ace Ventura? Well, thank you very much. I like that line. But Ace Ventura really, I think both of the movies are good. Both of them are good. But I'm not a fan of this movie. This is not my favorite Jim Carrey film. This one is, this one just isn't. But like I said, I'll give 8 out of 10 for the sequel. It's a decent, good sequel, really good movie. Even though I don't like it, I thought it's gonna be rent, but I like now the film. I like the film. It's a really good one. Both of them are the best. But this is my favorite. This movie I love to death. You know, Pet Detective is my favorite movie he ever did. I love Ace Ventura, Pet Detective to death. This movie I like, Ace Ventura, Nature Calls. I'm glad I have both of them. You know, I got this from Australia. I have both of them on the one disc. But that's cool. They're both on the one disc. You know, this is from Australia, Blu-ray cover. The picture quality is excellent. It's a really good one. The audio is 5.1 Master High D, so it's still a good one. I'm glad I have both of them, you know. Now, the budget for this movie was $30 million. It cost more than the first one. The first movie cost $50 million. This is $30 million. But made worldwide, because opening weekend in US and Canada, it was $37 million. Gross in USA and Canada, $108 million, and made worldwide $212 million. This is actually more successful than the first movie. It made more money than the first movie and was really successful. But yeah, so I do like the song Secret Agent Man by Blues Traveler. I like that scene when Monkey goes in and uses the safety line and hooks, you know, on Gwyn's Land Rover, you know, and we see a parachute. Ace Ventura drives a parachute, you know, and we listen to that song Secret Agent Man. I like that scene, and I like that soundtrack, Secret Agent Man, by Blues Traveler. I love that song. I love the rhino bird, you know, that he's actually stuck in a rhino toy, you know. He's actually stuck in this rhino plastic toy, and he tries to escape because it's all hot. He goes through the rhino bird through the ass, you know. This family is watching. I like that scene. It's very funny scene, and the kid says, alright, you know, it says cool. It was really funny. I like that scene. My favorite is still the car chase, you know. Ace uses monster truck 99 to roll it and goes passion stop and goes stomp, and he goes and crashes Kandabi's Land Rover car, you know. I like that scene. I don't understand the finale why he's been chased, but he stabs the tribes to kill each other, and he retrieves the sacred white bat. So I like that scene. I like that too. And but I can wish that this movie could have been better. The cast. Well, the cast isn't that much in it like the first one, because the first movie has Sean Young, Country Cox in it, Tony Locke is also in that film. This movie, beside Ian McNeice as Fulton Greenwald, did a really good job, to become a good guy and helping Ace Ventura in his investigation. I like that. The villain, Simon Callow, he did a good job as Vincent Candabi, and then there's only the actress who played Kristen Norton as Pompous Woman. She did alright. She did a good job. I like her. The actress is not longer anymore in it in TV, but I like Kristen Norton as Pompous Woman. I like the jokes. Ken Kirzinger's helicopter pilot, when he says loser. I like that scene, when he goes on a rescue mission to save the raccoon. I like that scene. But yeah, Ace Ventura: Nature Calls is a really good movie. I had fun with it. It's an entertaining movie, a decent good sequel, I have to say. Steve Odekirk did a good job writing, directing the film. The soundtracks, not a fan of the soundtrack when Lion Sleep Tonight. I'm not a fan of that soundtrack. I'm not a fan of that soundtrack, but it's in this movie too, just like it was the first movie. But I like Secret Agent Man. I really like that. Both the movies are good. I recommend them to watch them, both of them. I hope they don't do the third movie. I hope they don't do Ace Ventura 3, because there is another sequel, a Son of Ace Ventura. Fuck that movie. I hope they don't do the third movie, Please don't do Ace Ventura 3 without Jim Carrey. Anyway, that's my movie review on Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. The sequel to Ace Ventura: Pet Detective came out on 10 November 1995. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. So, see you next time and have a good Sunday. And I'm out. Peace. Bye-bye.